Quality live bait can make all the difference between an average day of fishing and an epic day of fishing. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fish Blue Water channel. Jamie Bunn here, and this video is dedicated to showing you guys what it takes and how to put together an epic, ultimate bait pump system on your boat for having the best quality live bait. So it all started out in our fishing tournaments. I've got Frank over here to my left with Hooker Electric, Hooker Pumps. I've got Greg from On the Wire Marine, and we had a great promotion in our summer series, which Hooker Electric sponsors, where teams had the opportunity to get hooked up in a big way with this system plus the install, all for just fishing the tournament. So Frank, I don't know if you know this or not, but the boat that ended up actually getting drawn, and we're doing this install, I don't think it could have been a better team for you guys. This is Captain Jonah Bennett, his dad's boat, Jimmy Bennett, Finsanity 2. Great team. These guys are super fishy. He's super particular about his live bait. So if there's anybody that's going to give you guys some great feedback and testimony on the product, I think Jonah is certainly your guy. And so we're excited to take you through the process in this video, guys, of how this system gets put together and how it goes into the boat, which is where Frank and Greg come in. So Frank, first I want you, if you would, talk to these guys about the system, obviously that Jonah and them won, and then I know you've customized it to some degree for them as well.
Exactly, yep. So what they won here, obviously it's a sea chest. It's got two 4500 pumps mounted to it. They're gonna go with a two manifold system here we're gonna install today. So basically they're gonna keep their original sea chest on the port side, and they're gonna tie it into our Hooker Electric manifolds, basically conjoin it to all single system. So therefore it gives them a lot more redundancy. Greg's gonna go over the whole install with you guys today and kind of give you guys a pretty cool little video for an install.
So Greg, On the Wire Marine, you do a lot of these custom installs for Hooker?
A lot of the plumbing, subcontractor for Hooker.
Okay.
So
I know we're about to dive into actually installing this system down in the starboard side of the boat. However, there is a lot of steps, which I witnessed physically, to get to this point, both pulling wire, putting these manifold systems together. So for the guys watching this video, I think it's really important to understand what goes into putting together such a technical system like this to maintain the best quality of bait for these guys. So talk about where you started and how we got to this point.
Okay. Well, lucky enough, they already had two high-speed pickups on the back. Usually the systems will need a low-speed, high-speed, or high-speed, high-speed coming into both sides of the box.
Okay.
So we lucked out there. So far, I've replaced the two hoses coming from there, closed off the seacocks. I have the hoses installed now, so we'll be able to drop this box into place. So wires are pulled. We have the new hoses in place. The manifolds we glued. These are the new manifolds from Hooker. They're all using PVC cement now instead of threads.
All right, so real quick, you mentioned the valves and the fittings off the manifold. I believe Frank had mentioned earlier talking to me that Jimlux, who is a great partner of ours also in our Sailfish series, they actually manufacture these valves and the barbed fittings.
Great product, anti-seize. Never had a problem with any of the valves that I've installed so far with Jimlux.
Well, I can say that that's a huge plus for me, because I know that I've used a lot of Jimlux products. I have their blue water bases, their riggers. Everything that they do is like 10 out of 10. So I think the fact that actually Hooker is collaborating and working together with them on some of their fittings, I think just obviously speaks to the quality of what's going into this system.
Agreed.
What else has taken place to get to this point?
All right, so this is Hooker's new manifold system. Everything's PVC cement. Of course, there's going to be threads for your valves, 4200 on those. So we have that installed, waiting for that to cure thoroughly. The pumps, two 4,500 gallon pumps are going on this sea chest. They're going to be feeding the bottom right here of these two valves. This is your in to your manifold. This valve right here is going to connect over to the other manifold on the other side, since we're not installing the sea chest on that side. That way, if there's a failure on this side, you'll be able to use the sea chest from on this side, pump it around to the manifold. All your systems will be running smooth.
And I think you had mentioned earlier, which I think is super cool, obviously the redundancy, but with both of these pumps being 4,500 gallons per hour, which like on my boat, for example, you know, I have 1,500 gallon pumps. So if you think about that mathematically, like easily one of these pumps, right, could run 3 to 4 wells.
Oh yeah.
And so now the way you guys have this set up, essentially if they wanted to or needed to, they could adjust their valve settings, right? So that one pump was running multiple wells if they had an issue with a pump.
Oh yeah.
And don't have to worry about losing all of your bait, particularly in a tournament day, you know, when you can't afford to have that happen.
So one of these pumps, I mean, we have speed controls on the hooker system, so you'll be able to turn it all the way up to 4,500 or all the way down to, I'd say about 2,000. That being said, I mean, these are some of the best pumps on the market right now. I thoroughly enjoy these compared to anything that would be mounted inside the chest. Everything from the housing, they're all glued in place. If you need to remove a motor, they'll spin right off the top.
I was going to say, in terms of serviceability, it seems like that would be a lot easier too.
The easiest.
Yeah.
You're not siliconing, you know, another lid, putting it back down.
Right.
Definitely a well-built and thought-out system.
Is this a check valve here?
Yeah, this is the check valve.
Okay.
So when you're running, the box is going to fill with water pressure, so it's going to need somewhere to go. This will run overboard through a through hull, you know, pump overboard. First, it'll pump air, start pumping water. You'll know your box is fully primed up.
So we're about ready to go?
Yeah, we're going to drop her into place, make some markings, drill her, get that set into place, then the manifolds, and from there on out, it'll just be connecting some hoses.
By the way, in case you were wondering, which I would have been wondering, he definitely is a lot cleaner now than he was about like 10 minutes ago. He's been down in here working, sweating hard. I asked him if he needed a hand. He said, yeah. So I went, you're doing a great job, buddy. But no, we got a clean prepared surface down there, and we're gonna take you down below as Greg works his Hooker Electric magic. All right, Greg, so you're back down in your hole. You spent a lot of time in there today.
Yeah, I have. That I have.
So I see you're starting to play with some wire connections. Like, where are you in the process?
Right now we have both manifolds on both sides put up against the wall. Everything's plumbed the directions they're going, whether it be the 2 pitch wells, the 2 deck wells, the transom well. Everything can be accessed through this or through the other manifold on that side. Right now I'll start pulling wires. I already got the wires pulled to the console. From here, from the main pumps, we go to 8-2 wire. It goes up to the bow. From there, it goes to a breaker, a solenoid, and from that solenoid to the switch. So we're just about wrapped up here.
Down home stretch?
Yeah, on the plumbing side, we're wrapped up. So now it's just probably about 10 connections and making sure the paths of the wires that we chose are, you know, correct and they line up with the factory wiring.
Okay.
And yeah.
So ultimately, we're going to put this thing to the test, guys. It's totally finished. But in the meantime, is there? Can we do just a quick test run as far as a quick connection, just to see how the flow is working on these pumps with everything that you put together?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
Of course. I just have to finish up this couple, and then yeah, we'll be good to go.
Coming up next. All right, so we're back where this whole thing started. In the transom, Team Finsanity 2, Mr. Jimmy Bennett, owner of the boat, longtime fisherman in our series with Greg Eichhorn, one of my best friends, has done it together with his family for many years. So I couldn't think, Jimmy, of a candidate that could be better than you guys to win this project. I know how much your son Jonah loves to fish, and he's become obviously an insanely good fisherman. We got Frank here from Hooker Electric. Before we dig into this thing, Tom, Trista from Hooker Electric, thank you so much for your support of the PBSC series, the entire Hooker Electric team that made this package possible. We got Greg. Greg, on the wire, you handled all the install. You clean up nice, bro. You clean up pretty nice. About 10 seconds ago in the previous shot, you saw this guy did not look quite this nice. But he digs in, he dives in, he makes it happen. And yeah, absolutely. So, Jimmy, you're the recipient of like a $10,000 plus.
Sick. Absolutely sick.
Amazing water flow system on your boat. And I know that your son is like I was growing up, like there could never be enough bait on the boat. There could never be enough bait wells, and bait is everything, right?
Quality.
He's
bait.
not going to be an easy guy to please, which is why I'm glad these guys put the system in the boat. So, are you stoked? Are you stoked for this new system?
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Finsanity 2 going to be coming in hard next season with a brand new hooker electric pump system. So I'm going to throw it over to these guys. They're going to just run through again where we started, where we finished, the kind of system they had before, and what the new system, Frank, talk about what the new system is going to enable Jimmy, Jonah, and the Finsanity team to do fun fishing or in tournaments.
For sure.
All right, so what Jimmy won in the tournament series was a free hooker electric system, 2-pump sea chest with 4500s on it. Right now, we have all 3 wells that are the 2 floor wells, stern well, all running off of 1 pump right now. He has the ability to manipulate flow via ball valves, also the variable flow knob that he has at his helm as well. So it gives you that much more ability to control the flow of your system depending on what kind of bait you're using, whether it's sardines, threadfins, goggle eyes, you name it. You can keep them happy and healthy inside these wells for your tournament season or just for a fun recreational day of fishing.
I just want to jump back in for a second too, because so we have 3 pumps that are currently running, and Greg, obviously feel free to chime in if you want to as well. But in total, and I think we'll show this in the video, they actually have the ability with the above decks now that they've added to run a total of 5 wells, right?
Yep.
And with that 1 pump, as you guys are going to see right now, all 5 of these wells, that 1 pump is capable of running, right?
Correct, yep.
So that to me is huge as a guy who has cut his teeth competitively fishing and fun fishing on carrying, you know, the best bait possible on the boat, multiple wells. The idea of like mixing goggle eyes or speedos together with threadfin, herring, or sardines is not good. Like ultimately, if you have the bait well space to do it, you want to carry those baits separately, right? So what I think is huge, what you guys have done for Jimmy and Jonah and the team is you've now given them the ability, right, to, as you said, control all 5 wells. The above decks obviously are for when they're bait fishing and traveling and they've got to carry the bait a long distance in 100-gallon wells.
Yep.
And then it's the micro adjustments, guys. It's that valve system that they created to be able to jump down in there and tweak that flow just the way they want it with the valves as well, to where they want light pressure on those thread fins or light pressure on the sardines. They need to bump the pressure up for like a speedo that's going to need more circulation and flow. They have all those options through this system that can be done through the variable flow, it can be done through the valve adjustments. Basically 2 pumps giving them 9,000 gallons per hour, right?
If needed, correct,
If needed, or dial it down as low as they need to. So, you know.
Yeah. They actually have the ability to run this entire system, like you said, off 1 or 2 pumps and still have the comfortability in the back of their mind knowing they have at least 3 extra backup pumps. Running 1 pump, you're gonna have 4 extra pumps. Running 2 pumps, you still have 3 backup pumps for the, you know, the very serious tournament days when you don't want to think about failure or worst time. That usually happens in the worst time, whether it's tournaments or going on vacation somewhere.
Right. It's insurance. It's an insurance policy, right?
Exactly.
And I think confidence is everything in the tournaments. And here's what I'll say: drop a comment below. Would like for Jimmy and Jonah or whoever Jimmy wants to put on the boat to take us out fishing in the future to show this hooker pump system in action with some fishing action. You got to drop a comment below and let us know. Say, hey Jimmy, come on bro, hook it up. And we will make that happen for the next Fish Blue Water video. This video certainly was an educational piece, action, adventure, education. That's what we're all about. Greg, you're the man. Frank, thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. Smash that subscribe button. Best offshore fishing channel on YouTube. Make sure you let your friends know. We'll see you for the next Fish Blue Water video.